Hello again, all you fine-looking, fantastic fellows in recovery. We're glad you decided to come back and visit us again. If it's your first time, what we're trying to do here is establish community, where it's a safe place for those in recovery to reach out, ask a question, maybe share some of their experience, or even possibly suggest a subject for a future posting. I want you to know that this is simply my take on the recovery process, and it has no official affiliation with any of the recovery groups like AA, NA, CA. This is just simply my take on it. And I put it out there with the hope that it will maybe help somebody, that somebody might be able to relate to it, and it might make things easier for them. If you visited us before, we thank you for coming back. We appreciate your support. And you also, it would be nice if you would just leave a comment or tell us what you think. Now tonight we're on to step 9 and the principle behind step 9. And that is forgiveness. You know, if you were like me when I came into this program, I carried such guilt, shame, and remorse that I couldn't look people in the eye. I felt so much less than everybody else that, you know, if people found out who I was and what I did, they drummed me out of humanity. I was a bit of a drama queen when I first came in, and I guess I still am. But I think you get the point. You know, I had to, look up to look down on myself. I had no self-esteem. I had no personal value. I had nothing. And forgiveness is the most powerful force in the universe, next to love. I had a sponsor that pointed out to me when I first, looked at the step and went, made direct amends wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. I mean, hell, I didn't know who I'd harmed, and I wouldn't know how to find them if I could even remember who they were. And my sponsor said, whoa, hold on here. Let's start with the ones closest to you. Your family. Your close friends. The people that have finally walked away from you because they couldn't put up with your bullshit anymore. And you go to them and you identify your behavior and what you've done wrong, and you ask them for forgiveness. Keeping in mind that you're cleaning up your side of the street. Whether you feel that they did any harm to you is irrelevant. You're there to make amends for your behavior, and that is all. Now, some may forgive you, some may not forgive you. The point is, if you're cleaning up your side of the street, if they don't forgive you, you can forgive yourself. Because you've done what was required. Hell, I had one guy I went to make amends to, and he says, Bill, in order to make amends to me, I want you to get the hell out of my sight and never let me see your fucking face again. Well, that was easy to do. But the point is that I had gone and said, this is what I done. And what do you need me to do to make my amends to you? You know, it's not always easy to ask forgiveness. Especially when you might feel some of those people had a part in it. You know, that might be standing in your way about going and taking and cleaning up your side of the street. because you may still hold a resentment to them over something you felt that they did. Well, this is not about them. And I'll tell you this. Resentment is the #1 killer of alcoholics and addicts. It'll take us out quicker than anything else, because we got a resentment and we're sitting and we're stewing in all that anger and how dare they and that rotten son of a gun, and the next thing you know you're drinking or using because you've got to do something to relieve the pressure. Holding a resentment against someone is like drinking poison and expecting the one you're mad at to die. It doesn't harm them, it harms you. You're the one that's sitting in it. You're sitting in that prison of anger. And the key to that prison is forgiveness. And all you got to do is take that key and put it in the lock, because the lock's on the inside of your prison. Turn the key and walk free. Once you start owning your own shit and taking accountability and asking forgiveness, amazing things will happen in your life. You owe it to yourself to experience them. Things like having self-esteem. Things like taking pride in who you are and what you do. Things like being able to look someone in the eye rather than look at their feet. These are things that you don't want to miss. Things start coming back into your life, like relationships you thought you had totally destroyed. But the thing about forgiveness is, if you're going to ask for it, you better be willing to give it. You better be able to come to that place where you can absolutely forgive everybody, everything they've ever done to you. I am practicing forgiving people before they do it. That's how ahead of it I want to get. You know, somebody says they're sorry to me, I said, hey, I forgave you before you did it, so, don't worry about it. The forgiveness my higher power has given me, I try to bring into the world and pass on to those around me. Hell, I just don't want to cause any more trouble that I have to go and make amends for. So, consider this. If you are not angry with anyone, if you have forgiven everyone anything they might have ever done to you, if you can truly get to that point, you will experience a peace and a serenity that is beyond your wildest dreams. And it's something that I advise you not to miss. So until we meet again the next time, and hopefully somebody will leave a comment or even make a suggestion for something down the road, we're going to keep trying. It is my deepest prayer that we walk together, hand in hand, with each other and with our higher power. Bless you all. Shalom.